This is the Waterlogic 3 Firewall installation guide. Remove the straps, don't cut them. Remove the outer box and stow away nearby. Remove the machine from the polystyrene protection base. Remove the plastic cover. Thoroughly inspect the machine for any damage that may have occurred during transportation and report any damage immediately to Waterlogic. Remove the top cover by removing the fixing screws to the rear and sliding the lid up and towards you. Inspect the top section for any loose wires, connections or pipes, and if required, correct them before continuing. Remove the front down panel by undoing the fixing screws located under the front edge at the bottom and depressing the retaining clips shown here using your index fingers. Inspect the lower section for any loose wires, connections or pipes and correct these before continuing. A pressure-reducing valve, a non-return valve and a water block should be used before the connection into the machine. Do not turn on the water supply at this point. Using 1/4 inch flexible tubing, connect the water supply to the inlet bulkhead at the rear of the machine. To remove the filters, disconnect the 1/4 inch tubing from the top and pull it towards yourself. Bypass the filter by connecting the two pipes together using a straight connector. The water supply can now be turned on. If your machine has a sparkling option, connect a CO2 cylinder with a gas regulator set to 3 bar using the 1/4 inch John Guest tubing located inside the machine. Lift the black safety valve inside the top of the machine before you turn on the CO2. Check the heater compressor and power switches are in the off position. Connect the electrical power supply at the rear of the machine, insert the plug and turn on the mains power. Turn on the red power switch. The hot tank must be filled first. To do this, press and hold the hot water button and the sparkling button until water is dispensed from the faucet. After the hot water tank has been filled, press and hold the cold water button until water is dispensed from the faucet. If the machine has a sparkling option, the sparkling tank will now auto-fill. Isolate the water supply to the machine. To release any pressure that may have built up, press and hold the cold water button until the water stops flowing from the faucet. Isolate the power by turning off the red power switch on the back of the machine. Remove the plug from the socket. The machine is now electrically isolated. Disconnect the 1/4 inch tube feeding water to the bulkhead of the machine and pour approximately 60 milliliters of Aquadosa sanitizing solution into an empty filter housing. For other products, follow the manufacturer's guidelines. The water supply can now be turned back on. Insert the power cable into the back of the machine and turn on the red power switch. Press and hold the cold water button so that cold water is dispensed from the faucet. Dispense approximately 500 milliliters of water to make sure the sanitization liquid has entered into the machine. You can verify this by using a peroxide test strip. Please ensure no sanitizer is allowed to enter into the hot tank. Dispense 200 milliliters of sparkling water from the sparkling tank by pressing and holding the sparkling water button. Dispense some more sparkling water and test for sanitizing solution with a peroxide test stick. Continue with other procedures while waiting. Turn the water supply off again. Turn off the power switch on the back of the machine and unplug from the socket. Pre-flush the filter that you are about to install to remove any deposits. Reconnect the filter to the machine by connecting the 1/4 inch pipes into the correct fittings labelled in and out. The water can now be turned back on. Reconnect the power by plugging the cord back into the socket and turning on the red switch only. Press and hold the cold water button so the water is dispensed from the faucet. We recommend flushing for up to 5 minutes. Flush 10 litres of water through the cold tank using this method. Place a jug into the dispensing area of the machine. Press and hold the sparkling button until the tank is empty. Allow the tank to refill and then repeat 3 times. Test the sparkling water with a peroxide test strip to make sure there is no sanitizing solution left in the water. Once you are certain water is running freely through both hot, cold and options on the machine, turn on the green heater compressor switch and allow up to an hour for the unit to heat and chill. Carry out a visual inspection of the tubing for any water leaks. To test the hot water temperature, press and hold the hot water and sparkling water buttons. Use a thermometer to test the temperature. It should be approximately 87 degrees centigrade. Once the compressor has turned off, the cold water temperature is ready to be tested. Dispense approximately 300 milliliters of cold water. It should be between 5 to 8 degrees centigrade. Replace the top panel. Line up the front of the top cover and slide into place. Refit the screws at the back of the top cover. Replace the front base panel by positioning the top first and by clipping the bottom in. Refit the screws into the base of the machine. Clean and wipe down the machine using non-abrasive wipes or sanitizing spray. Explain to your customer how to use the machine and have them taste the water to ensure their satisfaction.